Your story. You're watching WCBI Sunrise.
Welcome back, everyone. So to kick off the new year, many people will be eating traditional New Year's foods and with hopes it will bring them good luck, fortune, and health. So growing up and still today, this literally is probably one of my favorite meals of the year. So that's why I decided to bring in the expert, or rather my mom, to show us one pot meal that incorporates all the New Year's food and can feed a lot of people. So Mom, I have to ask first, we are making turnip green soup today.
We are making turnip green soup.
So I want to talk about some of the meanings of the foods that we have. So let's first start. We have obviously the peas. And so talk to me about what the peas are supposed to bring into the new year.
Well, the peas are supposed to bring you good luck and wealth and prosperity.
And then obviously we have the greens, which I feel like is a big one. So what about our greens?
Our greens brings you prosperity and lots of money.
Yeah.
Green for money.
We need money in this. And then obviously, look, I made you go out and bring the cornbread back in here. And so why are we also having cornbread today?
Cornbread represents gold.
Okay.
And gold is money, I guess, and prosperity.
So it looks like everyone into the new year just wants good luck, money, and fame right there.
That is true.
Okay, so growing up, I remember you and Aunt Penny and Aunt Crystal all cooking this. How long would you say that you grew up having like traditional New Year's Day food?
Our whole life we had traditional New Year's Day food. My mother got up and cooked every New Year's Day. And a lot of the things she would start preparing the night before, like soaking her beans and cooking it with the ham hock overnight.
Yes, okay. So this meal specifically that we're doing, this is something that you can really do in one day. You don't have to do it overnight. But traditionally, how would you usually do your New Year's Day food setup?
So normally I would start by cooking ham and navy beans overnight in the crock pot. And then I would add the other ingredients like the black-eyed peas and the turnip greens the next day.
Okay.
So it is a process.
Okay, and this one, y'all, I love this. And I would say it doesn't look pretty, but it tastes so good. So we already have some sausage browning in our pan right here. And what kind of sausage do you suggest for our viewers to get?
What I've got is 16 ounces of Conecuh sausage.
Okay.
I've sauteed it. And then I've got 1 onion and 2 tablespoons of garlic.
Okay, so once we brown that, then what's our next process? We have it browning right now, guys.
Okay, and then normally in my beans that I would cook overnight, I would have ham.
Okay.
But since we're doing the quick way, I went and purchased some chopped up ham, so we're gonna add this.
Okay.
Okay, and once we add this, we'll just get it all mixed together, and then we'll start adding our vegetables.
Okay, so obviously we have our Turnip greens, the star of the show right here. Do you have a specific brand that you like best? Would you consider this?
Well, if I'm gonna make them where it takes a little bit longer, I prefer to use frozen.
Okay.
But Glory is probably my favorite brand because it's already seasoned pretty well.
Okay.
So we would use these beans, these turnip greens, and then the navy beans. Also, I've got 1 can of potatoes that I rinsed and diced just to get the starch off. And then we're also going to add a can of carrots and a can of rotel and 6 cups of chicken broth.
Okay, so I know, look, I tell my viewers all the time, I measure with my heart. And my mom specifically wrote down her measurements so we could tell you guys. So go over some of the measurements and some of our seasoning while I open these cans.
So what I did was I've added 1 tablespoon of hot sauce.
Okay.
A teaspoon of sugar. Teaspoon of onion powder. 2 tablespoons of Tony Chachere's.
Yeah.
1 teaspoon of accent and 1 teaspoon of pepper.
Okay, I do have a question. Do you, with every can, keep the juice?
Just on the potatoes, I rinse the starchiness out.
I thought you said no. I was like, oh my God.
And so on the other ones, I will use all the juice.
And so when you're making this stovetop, Mom, how long would you say this typically takes to finish and cook?
Well, everything is pre-cooked, so normally until it gets hot through and through. But the longer the soup sets and hangs out together, the seasonings tend to incorporate in all the different vegetables. So
And
the longer you cook it, the better.
One thing that I find interesting is the sugar part, because I usually don't add sugar. Why do you add sugar?
Well,
in your
because
turnip
my
green soup?
grandmother said anything that come out of a can needed a pinch of sugar.
Okay, that's good
That's
information
why
right there.
we put it in there.
Y'all, I need to buy a new can opener. This sucker is not working good.
I'm going to go ahead and put all the seasonings in here and get them mixed up. And if you will hand me that chicken broth, I can
Okay.
put it in
That and then chicken broth. This is a big thing of chicken broth.
Yeah, this is 6 cups. Now,
I want y'all to see this. I'm going to turn this out. Look how big that is. That's a lot of food. So how many people would you say this could probably
feed 10 people very well.
Okay.
And as far as if you're watching your money, this meal today costs like $20.
Okay.
So to feed 10 people for $20 is not bad.
And you can freeze it. Y'all need to learn that in 2026.
And you can freeze it, absolutely. We do not waste anything at our house.
Okay, guys, we are going to finish cooking this, and when we come back, we're going to do a taste test. So stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. All right, everyone, welcome back into our first show of Sunrise here in 2026. So if you were with us before we went to break, my mom is joining me in studio, and she has made us some turnip green soup. Some people call it swamp soup too. I heard this on Facebook. So Scott, I had to ask, did you grow up with your family making like traditional New Year's food?
The thing we would do was black-eyed peas. Everyone had to have like a bowl of black-eyed peas on New Year's Day, but that was it.
Okay, so quickly, my mom's gonna make us a bowl real quick. We have about 30 seconds till we wrap. Now, Scott, just get Scott a little bit. We're hesitant about this, but we're gonna just try a little bit, okay? It's a little hot, so I would blow it.
I'll be careful.
So typically, I like to mix all my stuff together and take a bite with some cornbread. But guys, that's all the time we have. I hope you have a happy New Year's Day.
Happy New Year.
And join me on CBS.